Profit and loss and expenses. Profit and the loss and the expenses. Effect of transactions. Good day, viewers. Welcome once again to Web Educate. Today we are focusing on profit and loss and expenses. The effect of transaction. When there is a transaction we make expenses. Like we said in double entry principle, there are twofold effects when a single transaction takes place. So it gives rise to twofold effect. And the twofold effect is that one asset may be increased, or the other asset may be reduced, or liability may be increased, or capital may be increased or reduced. So it gives rise, whatever the transaction gives rise to twofold effect. So that is when there is an expenses, when we made expenses, what are the effects of that transaction? We have a lot of expenses in the account. In our previous videos, about 4 or 5 videos, we have covered asset of stock, and those are the goods. When we go for goods, that is treated under cost of sales. It is treated under cost of sales, asset of stock. You have the purchases, you have the sales, you have the purchases. From the sales, you reduce what? You adjust it with cost of sales. So, sales is treated in the revenue, while purchases is treated in what? In the cost of sales. But today, we are treating profit and loss and expenses. After you have adjusted sales with the cost of sales, you arrive at gross profit. So after arriving at gross profit, you adjust it with what? With expenses. Today we are dealing with expenses, and that is the effect of a single transaction. What is the effect of a single transaction? That is, a single transaction gives rise to two effects. Like you have a postage stamp, payment of postage stamp. So that means, in that case, postage stamp as what? Expense of postage stamp has increased. Payment made, that means money you have in the bank has reduced. That is twofold effect. Insurance expenses is paid. The expense of insurance has the twofold effect. Expenses of insurance has increased. We paid money. The asset of money we have in the bank has reduced. Do you see the twofold effect? So every single transaction gives rise to twofold effect. And what is twofold effect? You debit one and you credit one. And that is double entry. So the one we have covered before is what is asset of stock, and it is treated under sales and the cost of sales to arrive at gross profit. So after arriving at gross profit, where do you go? You reduce the expenses. And that is what we are treating today. Effect of transactions. That is expenses. In the profit and loss account. In the profit and loss account. So we go over the illustration. The illustration says, just a simple example. Say, the rent of $150,150 is paid in cash. Example, the rent of 150 naira is paid. The rent of 150 naira is paid in cash. This is what we are saying. This has twofold effect. It has twofold effect. And what are the twofold effects? The transaction has twofold effect. The rent of 150 is paid in cash. What is the twofold effect? It means one, the twofold effect. We first of all consider the debit entry before we consider the credit entry. What is debit entry here? Rent expenses are what? The bill of expenses are what? Are debit side. Debit side. So that means the expenses of rent is increased. And what is the when expenses of rent is increased? And what do? You debit rent. We are talking of expenses today. We are not talking of assets of stock. This is expenses. After the gross profit, you go to expenses. This is the rent account. And what do you do here? What is the currency sign? That is the dollar, 150. And what's the corresponding? That is cash. What is cash? That is what? The twofold effect. This is the one. Another one is what? Is the asset. The second effect. The asset of money. The asset of money in the bank is reduced. Why? Because the money from the bank account is used to pay what? The rent. We take out of the money in the bank to pay the rent. So, and when asset reduce, what do? You credit. Bank account, and that is the dollar sign. That is 150. The corresponding entry, what is it? That is a rent account. That is that for that transaction, the twofold effect. Expenses. Expenses. So the rent of $150 is paid in cash. The transaction, a single transaction. This single transaction has twofold effect. What is it? And what is that? The expenses of rent is increased. And when expenses increase, expenses, their BD is what is a credit. Is credit. So what do? You debit rent with cash of $150, and the second effect is that the asset of money in the bank is reduced. It's reduced because we take money out of the bank. We took money out of the bank to pay the rent, and that is that. You credit bank, because when assets reduce, what do? You credit. I rub it off to go to the next one. Go to the next example. They have been enjoying some value here. Do subscribe to our channel. And as you do so, God bless you. The second question says, or the second example says, in the insurance expenses are paid by check. Are paid by check. Example 2, insurance expenses are paid by check. That is, let's assume $500. So this also has twofold effect. It has twofold effect. The transaction here, the transaction has twofold effect. Twofold effect. And what are they? One, the expenses of insurance, as the expenses of insurance is increased. And what is it? When expenses increase, what do you do? Like I've said in the first example, what do you do? When expenses increase, what do you do? That is insurance account. That is insurance account. What do? You debit $500. You debit $500, and what is corresponding to that is cash are paid. That is cash account. And what is the second effect? 2, the assets of money in the bank is reduced. And when asset reduce, what do you do? This is bank account. What do? This is a dollar sign, not naira sign. What do? Then what's corresponding entry? That is the insurance account. Honestly, if you have been following our courses, I tell you, even though you want to write exam, you are just continue following us. And I tell you that this channel is dedicated. Continue to give value. In as much as accounting courses is regarding accounting courses. Just continue following us and help us share the video. Share the video. And also, if you want to be our online student, comment under. Can contact us through our emails. Contact me, and I'll get in touch with you. As far as accounting courses are concerned, we continue to reach out to ourselves online. Continue to upload more videos to guide you. One-on-one, can talk on one-on-one to help you accounting courses. So do subscribe to the channel by pressing the red button. As you do so, God bless you. Next, let me go over it. Insurance expenses are paid by check. $500. You see, the transaction has twofold effect. What are they? The expenses of insurance is increased. The expense of insurance is increased. And when expenses, what do? You debit. You debit. So that is that. You debit cash, because we use cash to pay. And when cash goes out, you credit. And that's what happened here. The asset of money in the bag is reduced. So I rub it off. Next, the weather is somehow. Just bear with us for now till we have the quality equipment to record and upload our videos. So just bear with us for now. Bear with us. We will soon add the donations button in our video. So that donors that can help us, our channel, the channel is just growing. We need donors, we need donations. So if you are church and you can help us, we soon include the buttons. I will include my account number, my bank account number there, details there. You can help us, but I promise that I will continue to add values as regards accounting courses is concerned. Are concerned. We need to add values to people. Okay. Next. Cash is received. Example 3. Cash is received. Cash is received. Cash is received for commission earned. That is cash of 170 is received for commission earned by check. Cash of $170 is received for commission earned by check. The transaction also has twofold effect. The transaction here, single transaction has twofold effect. And what are they? 1. This is revenue, commission earned. Like I've said in our previous video, that you have a revenue or income. The BD is what? Is credit. BD of 1, revenue, credit. 2, BD of assets. What do? You debit. BD of capital. What do? You credit. BD of liability. What do? You credit. BD of expenses that we are treating today. What do? You debit. Do you see? So say cash of $170 is received for commission earned by check. Commission earned is what? Is a revenue. Is an income by check. And what is the BD of that? You credit. Is an income. So I rub it off. Revenue, debit, asset, revenue, credit, asset, debit, capital, credit, liability, credit, expenses, debit, their BD, the balance BD. This is short form of what? Of balance BD. Okay. If you want to be one of our students, comment or email us. Email us can send an email to us, send us email or Gmail at joylyweb at gmail.com. Joylyweb, Joly, small j, JOLYWEB at gmail.com. Ayodele Samuel. Ayodele Samuel. Ayodele Samuel. So reach out to us. Want to be our students, and I promise you, the channel is just growing, and we want to make it a full time. So you have no problem. Once we are on full time basis, we're able to cover many areas and be able to push you, to help you. Whether you want to write exam, whether you want to be versatile in accounting knowledge. And let me tell you something. Today I was watching one video about accounting courses, about bookkeeping and QuickBook, about bookkeeping, online job, and QuickBooks. So this is just fundamental of accounting, and that's what we are covering. And these YouTubers, the way they talk about bookkeeping, online jobs, work at home, the revenues is on what is very, very high. The income there that you earn. So if you know, so continue following us. It's just a normal something. Does not require too much experience bookkeeping. And QuickBooks also, we are going to cover it. This is bookkeeping that we are covering now. All this, how to pass double entry of transactions. Just maybe you have to use software. But the basic knowledge is what you need, the fundamental of bookkeeping. And fundamental of what? Of QuickBooks. So we are giving you what? The fundamental of what? Of bookkeeping. So we need donors so that we can continue in this way. Continue giving value to touch areas that you need, many areas. So you want to be our student, just email us. Email. So God bless you. And we need donors also. We need donors. And we need donors that can donate to our channel. This bookkeeping of issue, some of them, YouTubers, sometimes they can be elaborate, they can be exaggerate, but they're paying. I watched some of them that will be $100,000 per hour. You get that is per year or per month, say $100,000, whatever. That big amount of. So once you have the experience, you can do it. Just continue following us. Continue following us. So this has to full effect. And one, what is one? What is the debit entry here? And what's the credit entry here? That's it to full effect. So the debit entry here is what is cash of $170 is received for commission earned by check. For commission earned by check. What do? Commission earned by check. Received by check. That is bank. That is debit entry. Bank account. Bank account. And what do? You debit $170 with what? With commission received account. That's the first word effect. Oh, something is missing here. Something is missing. The effect. The effect is that one, the asset of money in the bank as reduced. And what is the accounting entry for that? You debit. And that is the bank. That is bank account for you. That's bank account for you. That is the dollar sign, $170, and that is a commission received account. What is the second effect? 2. The commission received account as what? The revenue of commission received as what? Has increased. And when revenue increase, what do? You credit. The revenue from commission earned or commission received. From commission received from revenue of commission. The revenue from commission received as what? Is increased. And when revenue increases, what do? This is a commission received account. What do? You credit. And what's the corresponding entry? That is the bank account. Since you say of check, whenever you hear check, that is bank account. So that is that. The next, let's go to the next one. Cash of $170 is received for commission earned by check. The transaction has twofold effect. This is transaction. The buyer and the seller. They buy, they sell. That is transaction. It involves two separate accounts. That is double entry. So the effect of asset and the effect of revenue. Okay. And next, we give one more example. The rent paid for postage stamp by cash. Paid, example 4, paid for postage stamp by check. By check of $130. This is a transaction. The transaction here, also the transaction has twofold effects. And one, what is one? Postage stamp. That's an expenses paid by check. The effect, the expenses of postage stamp. Postage stamp as what? As or is increased, well, whatever, is or has increased. And what is that? What do you do when expenses increase? What do you do? That is a postage stamp account. Postage stamp. Postage stamp. You can write it in short form, you can write it in full form. It's allowed. When expenses increase, what do? You debit. And that is what? That is a $130. $130. And what is corresponding? That is in check. That is bank. Bank account. Bank account. Then what do you do here? Next, to the asset of money in the bank is increased. Is increased. And what do you do? When banking, asset of banking, what do you do? Bank account. What do? You no, reduce. Sorry, reduced. Because we pay out of the bank, out of the money we have in the bank. It's reduced. It's reduced. What do? You credit when assets reduce. And that is a postage stamp. Postage stamp account. Postage stamp account. And that is the end of today's lecture. If you have been receiving value all along and you want us to continue to produce more of these in the future, in fact, if not every day, it cannot be more than 2 days. It can't be more than, by the grace of God. But we need support. We need support. So we want to continue adding value. Help us to press the red button, that subscribe button, and the thumb up button that you love our lecture, our courses. And very soon we also start selling courses online. Do help us share our video. Help us buy our courses also. Because we only continue to provide more of this if we are getting some revenues. And like I've said, we need students, online students. Reach out to us to our email. So let me go over it again. Paid for postage stamp by check of $130. The transaction has twofold effect. That is the effect. We are talking about what? Effect of transaction, profit and loss, and expenses. I've said that we have treated assets of stock, that you need to know the meaning of assets of stocks. That they are what? They are the account entry that concerns with goods. And goods bought and goods sold. They stop at what? Sales and cost of sales. So after that, you are just cost of sale with what? With the revenue of the sales. You have at gross profit. The next is expenses. And that's called it profit and loss and expenses. You see, are we giving value? Are you receiving value? Let me know in the comment section that I am receiving value. I am receiving value. Even though you don't have experience of accounting before, we have zero knowledge of accounting. Just continue following us. Tell your friends. There are some housewives, even there are some husbands, they don't have. And the way things are going now, online business is on the outside. It's on the other side. Like I said, bookkeeping alone. Just go and just Google. You can Google it. But you need to have the skill. These are the skills that you need. And that is what we are given. That's what we are given. I said I watch it. One say I left my my full-time job for what? For bookkeeping, and he quoted it $100,000. If you multiply, if you convert that one to Nigerian money, do you know how much it's going to give you? And this is just a simple bookkeeping. And compare joining what with QuickBooks. We continue to this bookkeeping. We will do the QuickBooks also, but you need the software. Just continue to follow us and let this video reach out to more and more people. And like I said, if you want to join us, you can email us. I put it there. So let me read this again before I put the email again. The transaction has two fraud effects. The expenses of postage has increased. Postage stamp account, and that is bank account, $130. You debit, because that's the money. When expenses increase, what do? You debit. The asset of money in the bank is reduced. When assets reduce, what do? You credit. Postage stamp account. And that is that. I continue to make appeal for subscription. Subscribe to our channel and give us that, hit that thumb up button that you love our lecture, that you are gaining value. So watch out for more of this in the future. So we are looking for online students. You can reach out to us. Our email, Gmail. You can email us on joylyweb at gmail.com. This is one. Another one, Ayodele Affiliate at gmail.com. Just Ayodele Samuel. Ayodele Samuel. Put it in the comment section that you want to join our as online students. So we continue to what? Communicate with ourselves. We want to add value. You want to pass the exam, your BSc exam, your HND exam, your college exam that regarding accounting, you help ourselves. So thank you. God bless us. God bless you as you do so. See you in the next video.